I'll talk a little bit about some of the tools and things that I carry with me when I'm out rebolting using the yabber. Starting with kind of the general purpose tools. Of course, a hammer, using this to tap bolts loose, checking the quality of the rock, making sure that it's not hollow, pounding in the new bolts. This one's black diamond. It's their Yosemite hammer. Drill bits to bore out the hole that you just pulled the bolt out of, resize it for a new bolt, and of course blow tube, brush to clean that out. Whatever bolt you're going to be replacing it with. I've been really liking these twist bolts by Bolt Products in Germany. You can get these in the US from Team Tough. They don't have the same interference fit that a wave bolt does, but they go in really well, and I've been really happy with those. I carry a ratchet with sockets to remove the old bolts. I find that this is less prone to stripping the nuts or the bolts. These can get pretty corroded over time and strip fairly easily if you're using an adjustable wrench or a box end wrench. Having all 6 sides in contact, it seems less common that I'll strip them out. This also gets my hand a little bit away from the rock, and so if I'm pulling on that and it finally gets loose, I'm not dragging my knuckles across the rock. I think that this works quite a bit better than the adjustable wrench or a box end. I do still carry the adjustable. That can be helpful for removing quick links, taking the coupler nut off the spinner tool if it gets jammed down there or the end of the tool. So I do generally carry that with me. I also generally carry needle nose vice grips. This can be helpful for grabbing onto pieces of the sleeve that are sticking out. If you get a bolt jammed into the coupler nut, you can use these to help get it free. So carry those with me. This is a 2-part epoxy putty, and if you pull a bolt and the rock around it is bad, or you break the bolt off and you can't fully get it out to reuse the hole, you can use this to patch it and camouflage it. Then go into some of the more bolt-specific tools that I carry for wedge bolts, the spinner adapter and coupler nuts to pull it out. The spinner tool has this reverse threaded screw in it, so if you screw it right, it comes out, screw it left, it goes in. I use that to set the depth in the coupler nut. If you don't have that or a set screw in there, you can screw it all the way onto the bolt till it interferes with the rock, and then you're grinding this when you're trying to spin it. And you can also get the bolt jammed all the way down into the coupler, so having a set screw in there, that reverse thread screw, helps keep that from grinding or getting stuck. I do throw in a set screw with the coupler nuts. Some people prefer these, that screws in at the end, achieves the same purpose, setting the depth. I don't care for that as much. With this, I carry a little teeny screwdriver that I can use to adjust that reverse thread screw in there and get the depth that I want. This is just a little squirt bottle with water and some rock dust in there. When spinning the bolts, that's helpful for both lubricating the bolt and also creating a little slurry in there. We'll go more into that when I'm actually removing the bolts. For sleeve bolts, I carry a tap. Most of the time I'm pulling 3/8 sleeve bolts. This is a 3/8 tap, and it allows you to cut threads into the sleeve piece, and then use a 3/8 draw stud, which fits into that same coupler nut, screw it into the sleeve to pull those sleeve pieces out. Again, go into that more when we're getting to it. Sometimes you can't get the whole sleeve out, in which case I end up drilling through it. And this little magnet is to go in there and fish out the little scraps of metal. It's also helpful for checking whether it's a stainless bolt or a plated bolt. You can see this is a plated bolt, and so it sticks to that. This one is stainless, doesn't stick there. So if you're replacing bolts and one looks okay and you're not sure, you can check it to see is it carbon steel or stainless. I would like to throw out a pitch for ASCA. They're not affiliated with this, the tool or this video, but Greg from ASCA did provide the plated steel 5-piece bolt for this demonstration, so thank you, Greg, for that. ASCA does a ton of work supplying new, good hardware for bolt replacement projects. I'm sure that you've clipped their bolts all over the place. They're oftentimes stamped with ASCA. They do a lot of work to make sure that we have safe, good, modern hardware at our